Welcome back. I can't remember what I said in the intro of the first one. So, new intro. We back again, same thing as last time. No difference really. I'm just going to talk about different things. Because I watch different things. And let's just get straight into it. I'm going to talk about anime first today. Since I did talk about that most last time. So, I've only got 2 shows to talk about this month. Because I've really only watched 2 shows. And that's Solo Leveling and Free Run. And they're in different places. But let's start off with Solo Leveling. So, if you didn't know, Solo Leveling started airing in January. So in February now, we're not in the starter stage anymore. We've gone through all the introduction and stuff. And it's hype. That's all I can say about it. It's hype, hype, hype. Throughout all the episodes that are out, it's just been getting better and better. The action in the show been good so far. It's been so solid. Like, it started Jujutsu Kaisen, This is A1 we're talking about. And that's not to say, oh, A1 is bad. But it's like, they're supremely decent, They've got, I think they got Kaguya under their belt. That's really well done. That's the only A1 show I can think of right now, which is kind of embarrassing. But yeah, they're a solid studio. They've been in the game a while. If this show came out 10 years ago, people would be even more hyped than they are now. They'd be like, oh my god, the animation. But unfortunately, it lives in an era where we get Demon Slayer every year and Jujutsu Kaisen every 2 years, and we get a Chainsaw Man. Basically, if Studio Mappa didn't exist, this show would be hype. But it's not just the action that the show has for. It's got really good world building. And I feel like that definitely was not talked about enough. When people used to talk about Solo Leveling, as in the manhwa for the anime adaptation, they used to just talk about the art is good, kinda generic story, but it's done really well, and the fights are cool. But I feel like hasn't been talked about enough is the world building in this show is so interesting. Like, we actually get stuff explode, which is nice to see. I feel like a lot of modern shows, at least, they just explain, like, they'll just introduce things and they won't explain it, which is really annoying. But so far the world building has been really good. We've gotten really in depth with like the dungeons and stuff, like, oh, how these have affected like society. And we see that like more and more as the shows come on. And it's just nice to see that a world has actually got thought put into, unlike like 99% of isekai, where it's like, oh, it's just the generic fantasy. It does feel kind of slow because of this. Like, there have been some episodes where it's like, oh, it's kind of just world building. And once you're in like the hype mindset, where it's like, oh, last episode, the hypest thing ever happened, you're like, oh, it's kind of dead now. If you could binge this is a series that was made to be binged, I reckon. Watching it weekly feels kind of like a slog, because there's a lot of slow parts. But if you watched it like just all in one session, you'd probably have a good ass time. So if you are not watching Solo Leveling, I'd recommend you wait till it's over. Like, some shows were made for the weekly, I feel. Like JJK leaves you always wanting more, always delivers in the hype. That was made for weekly. Solo Leveling, not one of those shows. I've got in my script that it feels like eating McDonald's, where it's like, it's good, but it never like fills you up, you know what I'm saying? And I also want to talk to you guys about Free Run.
天地がひっくり返って
破られる
I would like to start by saying, forgive me, Free Run, for I have treated you too harshly. Not watched a lot of episodes since like January too, and I have missed a lot. I stopped watching like when the Meiji exam started. Like, oh, it's gonna get boring, so I just stopped watching. I'm glad I did, because it has been hype ever since. I did not realize the Free Run world building went so hard. At the start of Free Run, when they were like, oh, it's the ice cream potion, I'm like, oh, it's kind of boring. Back then, at least, I didn't feel like it was explained very well. Kind of just feel like just glimpsed over, which could have been like just foreshadowing or something. But now we are in the major exams where we learn so much about mages. Like, since we have Free Run, who's been around for like 1,000 years, there's like so much history there. Like, we learn that like her philosophy with maging, magicianing, magic, and we see her philosophy compared to like humans, where she just uses the basic stuff, whilst all the humans like, oh, rocks, ice, water, fire, earth, wind, air. I don't know, I haven't seen Avatar. I don't know all that goes in. My bad. Like, the magic system in Free Run, not with it, you know what I'm saying? It's explained so in depth. I love it when you gotta love a good power system, I don't think there's a single person who doesn't like a good power system. When his power system is still simple, but there's like more underneath the surface. I'm trying to think of a good example of this. God, this is so embarrassing. Looking at my back shelf on my book, I can't think of one. I guess Mushoku Tensei does it like I can't remember. God, this is so bad. JoJo, I guess. I don't know enough about the JoJo power system. I've read like part 1 and part 2, and like a bit of part 3, and I don't know enough to be able to tell you. There's a big switch in the power system in JoJo. Would JJK be a good example? Simple yet complex. I mean, that's basically Gojo. He's got like his powers is simple explained. It's like, oh, he can just not get touched, but he can do like a lot with that power. But yeah, I just forget. We're moving on. I also put down that it's also really good at making you care about characters. And yeah, I think, do I agree with that? Does the me who wrote that script to me now? I don't know. I say script, it's just notes really. I feel like the new characters, because we're in a tournament arc basically, which means everyone knows tournament arc. You get the new characters, they're badass, they show off, and then you probably won't see like half of them ever again. Basically, the My Hero Academia tournament arc. But it's a good chance to get to know good new characters, and we do get to know some. Since the two main characters, Freerun and Fern, they get split up, so we get to learn. And they're interesting characters, but nothing too crazy. I feel like the most interesting characters in the show are Freerun, Dark, Fern, kinda. I don't really care that. Well, I care about her, but I don't really find her that interesting. And then like the entire like the hero party. Those guys are cool AF, bro. Like, you know, the Demon King flashback is gonna go crazy, but really, I just think the show was just overshadowed by JJK season 2. And like, what wasn't overshadowed by JJK? Like, I can't even remember what else. So JJK season 2 is around in the summer, the fall, and the fall, right? And I generally can't name you another show that came out during that time. Like, did we get a new My Hero season during that time? I don't think we did. What season of My Hero? Are we on season 7 or season 6? I genuinely can't remember. Surely I can remember something. What did I watch? This is not good. Well, see, proves my point. I can't remember anything that came out during that time. Yeah, so now that JJK season 2 is over, other good shows exist. I just want to highlight, yeah, I'm a lover of animation. I just want to thank the staff. If anyone's seen the Freerun manga and they've compared it to the anime, you'll see that the anime is superior in like every way. Like, they didn't just adapt the source material, they were able to elevate it, and I think that's what every good adaptation should be able to do. Like, of course, if you're adapting a book, you're gonna like miss out on stuff, but you should also be able to like elevate what you're not missing out. Every medium has a strength, and animation is that you can do cool ass stuff that you can't even think of doing in live action. And that, unlike a book, there's music, voice acting, things move, you got colour. The staff know that and they've done really well. I feel the schedule for the show wasn't the best, and it's not to be surprised, to be honest. This is the animation industry in Japan we're talking about here. There's I don't think any show has in like the last 4 years I can name one show with a good schedule, and that was two shows actually. Mob Psycho and Heavenly Delusion, and that's it. Which that's not something to be laughing about. That's really bad. These poor staff, but just thank the staff, you know. Better than how Mappa treats their staff, in it probably. I don't know. There's no point comparing. That's like comparing like hell to. If you didn't know, the show just has really good planning. That's how they're able to get these like just stellar looking episodes out with like good animators. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Freerun. Freerun, hype. I'm so excited for more. We're coming to the end, which means the hype is probably gonna climax. And you know, I'm there. I'm ready to see it. But that's enough about anime for today. I don't know. How short was that? That's what happens when you're kind of burnt out. I say that like every season of anime. I'm like, oh, I'm burnt out. But I generally have started watching less and less and less. Like, normally I would at least finish a show during a season, but I've just left so many shows. I'm like, oh, I can't be asked to go back and watch them. So I don't. I just leave them on my anime list, just unwatched. Honestly, that's okay. I mean, it's not like the anime industry is in a good place right now anyway. You know, we got animators being treated like absolute garbage. Most studios do not make that much money because of how the system's set up for them to get like shows. It's just like, think of them like most inhumane way you could make a system for like companies to get the rights to a show, and it's like, oh, that's the animation industry for you. You got the Crunchyroll where they like merger, so it's just a monopoly, and they like pay their translators horrifically. and like their translators don't even do a good job translating. The only good thing is like the voice actors are cool people, I guess. Some of them are. I'm not gonna say all of them because there's always a bad egg. And I guess the animators are really talented when they're given the correct schedule. Let's move on to the movies. I only watched 2 movies this month. First up, I want to talk about Whiplash. And I definitely was not meant to talk about this in the January video. And I just 100% was meant to talk about it in this video. I definitely didn't forget to talk about it. Because I watched it because there was like a lot of Whiplash. Got Whiplash there. A lot of Whiplash memes are going around. And I was trying to say, the movie, really good. That's kind of it. Like, I even got a lot of notes on this movie. I got J.K. Simmons. Man would absolutely go in that movie. There comes a certain time with like acting or like just movies and TV shows in general where scenes that are meant to be very scary and like serious become like really funny. And J.K. Simmons, I feel like he just carries that. He just moves that line himself. Like when he's shouting at this guy, I'm like, should I be like, I'm scared and I'm laughing. The same happens with like Breaking Bad too. I feel like that's just because Breaking Bad's been memed so much. When you're watching like a serious scene now, you're like, oh wait, I remember that meme. And you just can't take it seriously. Which kind of sucks. Industrial Revolution and its consequences, I guess. J.K. Simmons in the movie, he's so tense. He makes like everything so intense. But he's also just so funny. And I feel like the funniness is on purpose. If the funniness wasn't there, you'd just be crying. I feel like the funniness has a purpose in the movie. The film was like really well paced. I feel like there wasn't really any point in the film where it's like, oh, this is kind of dragging, it's kind of getting slow. It didn't give me whiplash. Like the progression through the movie felt really natural. You know, you're just watching this guy kind of just go insane. It's a really well crafted movie. It's definitely one that deserves a rewatch, I should say. Like you could probably look in there and pick it apart, which isn't something I do normally. I'm more of a person who just enjoys like new media instead of just like rewatching. Like I'll rewatch clips of stuff, but I would never rewatch a full movie. Like the ending to the film, like I feel like that's something I didn't quite understand, and I could probably watch a YouTube video on it, but I just can't be asked. I'd watch a YouTube video on it if the video was recommended to me. I wouldn't go out of my way to search it, but if it was recommended to me, I'd watch it. You know what I'm saying? Thoughts on Whiplash? Solid. If you haven't watched it, it's a short movie, because I only watched those, probably. And yeah, I'd recommend. And the other film I watched was Bloodsport. And I don't know if you've heard of Bloodsport. I genuinely knew nothing about this film. I can't tell if it's like a classic that a lot of people know, or if it's a film that no one knows, because I didn't know about it. I watched it and I was like, does anyone know about this? And it is a strange film. Let me explain it to you. So there's this American guy, I think he's American, who's been trained by this Japanese guy, because when he was younger, him and his friends broke into his house and were gonna steal a sword, and then the guy showed up, and then he didn't run away, and then he was trained by him, I think. That's how it went. So he's training with the old Japanese man and his son, because they were this image. I think the Japanese son got bullied, and then he like saved him as well or something. And then the Japanese son died, and now there's like a flash forward. Oh, spoilers by the way. My bad. Spoilers for everything. I should probably put a spoiler warning at the start of this video, if I can be asked. Anyway, where was I? There's like a flash forward, and the American guy joins the military, and he's like their top trained guy now. He's like the coolest guy around. He's super strong, super sexy, super lovable. And then there's this thing called the I don't remember what it's called, but we're gonna call it the World Martial Arts Tournament from Dragon Ball, because I'm pretty sure it's a cool name. Did I put it in the script? No, I didn't put the name in the script. Should I Google it? Don't want to Google it. Can I be asked to Google it? I'll put it in editing. YouTuber brain. Yeah, I can edit. Anyway, what was that? So he joins this tournament, and then he meets like a big American guy, and they have like a bromance, and it's beautiful. And they're like fighting, and then there's the Korean guy. The Korean guy is the bad guy, and he like takes drugs at the end of the film. Spoilers again. But like they're enemies, I think. I don't know. I don't remember why they become enemies. But anyway, they're just like fighting through the thing. Then he meets like a reporter who wants to learn about this world martial arts tournament. And he's like, I can't tell you. No, he's like, I can't do his accent. It's not an American accent, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, he sleeps with her. And then he's like, there's these American FBI agents who are trying to track him down because they like put money into him apparently. So they're trying to bring him back to the US military so he doesn't get hurt. And then she runs away from them, and then he sleeps with the reporter girl. And then the American friend fights the Korean guy and loses, and he loses his headband. And then the American guy gets really sad and angry. And then he does something before they fight. And he like does like training and stuff, and he like spreads it. He's like doing the splits in front of the city skyline. And then then they fight, and he's like winning. And the guy takes drugs, and then he's not winning, and then he wins in the end. And then he kisses his American friend on the lips or something. And then I was like, wow, that bromance was better than romance. And that's basically the entire film. And you're probably thinking, wow, that is a strange story that sounds very unrealistic. There's no way this could have happened in real life. Because it did. Or at least that's what it says at the end of the film, where it's like, this is like based on a true story. And I googled it, and apparently it is. Apparently the main guy, Frank's Do, I'm pretty sure his name is, was real. And he did fight in this martial arts tournament. And I was like, and he's like the undisputed, he won it like 500 times or something, like 50 times. And that sounds really unrealistic, doesn't it? Was there any point during that story where you like, this sounds like it could have been real? Because to me, I wasn't thinking that. For the entire film, I was like, wow, this is such a strange story. Wonder who came up with this. I say strange, it's really basic. You know, it's like too basic. This sounds like something like someone could come up with easily. But you know, I'm not gonna discredit him. There are people who say there's no way this could be real. There's people who don't believe him. But I am a firm believer in Frank's Do. That he 100% went to Hong Kong, I'm pretty sure it was, or Shanghai, and he fought in a martial arts tournament. Because why would he lie about that? See? Why would he lie about that? Checkmate, liberals. Why would he lie about fighting in a tournament against a bunch of Asian guys and meeting his friend Jackson? I want to say that. And yeah, it's a film that if you don't laugh, you'll cry. You know. There's horrific ADR in like the flashback scene. I don't know why they were in a building. I don't know why why they had to ADR that scene, but they did. And honestly, that was a good creative decision because it made me laugh. It's an emotional roller coaster. You both don't know and know where the film is going, if you know what I'm saying. Like, it's just beautiful. Throughout the entire film, it doesn't feel like there's stakes. Even when the American guy is chasing him, or the American guy, sorry, that doesn't feel like there's any stakes, because the guy just wins everything. No, not only is he the strongest man alive and the best at martial arts, and he can like break bricks without even like touching them. He's also a really fast runner. I mean, to be fair, the people who've been sent to chase after him don't seem like the most athletic people. I mean, they don't even have any cars. So I feel like that was a really bad move by the US military. If they put this much money into this car, they surely could have spent like a couple of hundreds on a rental car. My favourite characters from the film were like the Hong Kong guide, because he was really funny, and the big American guy, because he gets me hyped. If I had to have a hype man, it'd be that man. He's a hype man in that film, and I want a hype man like him. That film might have given me the best romance I've seen so far. Like, they kiss at the end. I'm not making that up. That is a part of the true story. They kiss. I can't remember if it's lip. I feel like it was lip, but my heart says lip, my brain says cheek. Well, it feels better than the bloody romance in that film. The romance in that film feels so awkward and like forced. Like, it doesn't feel natural. Obviously, it's a martial arts movie. I feel like I didn't explain that when I was talking about the movie. It's a martial arts movie, if you didn't know. So they like punch and kick each other. And the martial arts range from like alright to meh. Like, it's no it's no Bruce Lee movie, yeah. But I really like the idea of the film. If anyone knows a film where it's like, oh, the martial arts tournament or like a fighting tournament, hit me up, let me know what film it is, and I will watch it because I really like the concept. If that film doesn't exist, I'm gonna have to make it myself. I'm gonna have to make millions of dollars. I'm gonna make all the characters really marketable and merchandisable. Is that a word? If I do make that film, I'm gonna have a hype man in it. And that's it for movies. Short month. See, if the month was, what is it? What's the normal length of a month? Like 30 days. If the month was 1 day longer, I'd have watched like 5 movies. But it wasn't. So unfortunately, only 2 movies this month. But I wanna know what I did with my time? I did a lot of gaming. I'd just like to start this off with my first ever YouTuber apology, because if you kept watching last month, the entire video, like I told you to, you'd know that I said next month I want to play some Super Mario 64. I'd like to apologize for that, because I did not, in fact, play Super Mario Brothers 64. I'm sorry, okay? I lied. Next month, I will be I will finish it. I think. I'll try my best. No promises though. See, I've learned from my mistakes, and it's, you can't lie if you don't say anything to lie about. But I did play other games. At the start of the month, I started playing Timberborn, and if you don't know what Timberborn is, let me give you the concept for the game. All of humanity has died, and nature, but beavers are still alive. And they've evolved, and they're gonna take over the world and make it a better place, and fix nature and fix all the mistakes the humans made. What great guys! And you play as the leader of the beavers, where you lead them. It's basically a city building game. I'm not massive into strategy games, so I can't tell you what type of strategy game it is, because I'm not smart like that. But you can just control these colony of beavers, and you just, honestly, I don't know what the goal of the game is. It's just make civilization and make your beavers happy. And honestly, that's just life. God, so meaningful today. The game is in early access. It came out 2 years ago, I think, or 3 years ago. No, it can't have been 3. No, it can't have been 3. Maybe it was 3. I can't remember. See, time just doesn't work anymore. It just skips. The game is pretty simple. Since I got into it last year. So right now the game is quite simple, but it's simple, but you can still delve into mechanics, and there's a lot. There is quite a bit to learn. They've also got different maps and stuff. That's cool. And since they're still updating the game, they're still adding new mechanics. They recently added bad water, which is just water that's bad. You got good water, which makes nature, and you got the bad water, which kills nature. And isn't that just life? There is depth, you know. And I quite like that. That's what I struggle with the strategy games, is I just can't get into them because it's just too much to learn. I remember trying Surviving Mars. I was like, oh, this game is so cool, and I want to try it because I think I really like the concept. I just couldn't get into it because I was bored out of my mind. Learning is not fun. You could argue, oh, it's how you learn, and you'd probably be right. But being bad at something sucks, and that's a struggle with strategy games, especially. That's why strategy games are kind of dying, or they've been dead for a long time. I feel like they're probably coming back, because I feel like everything that's died, everything that you think is dead is probably on its way back. You know, people say, oh, DVD's dead. It's coming back. Look how bad Netflix and Disney Plus is, bro. They take stuff off their library. There's gonna come a time when Netflix is so expensive that it'll probably be cheaper to just buy the DVDs that you want, because no one's buying DVD. No one wants DVDs anymore because they take up space, and you can just watch everything on Netflix. But Netflix is becoming more expensive, and DVDs are becoming more cheaper, so they'll eventually become a singularity point where they're literally it's cheaper to buy DVDs than it is to get Netflix. That's my theory. That's my game theory. Rest in peace, Bad Pal. Anyway, what was I? Timberborn. I was trying to say, good job, devs. Doing cool. They listen to the community. Seem like a good dev team. They update the game regularly enough. I think it's I said that every 3 months or every 6 months. Where it's regular enough. Where it's you will play the game for a weekend for too long. You should probably like tend to the wife and kids. But you don't. You tend to your beavers. And you'll probably put it away for like maybe a month or two. And you'll come back. And you probably do, and then you're just in that cycle. And it's a game you really want to be careful with, because so your time can go in a flash. Same with Civ 6. Your time, you go, oh, like one more day, or like one more cycle, and then you're there for like 8 hours. It's not good. If you like strategy, or city builders, or beavers, or nature, or me, get the game. Recommend you get it on sale. Not that it's bad or anything, but I got it on sale, and I'm right. I did something cool though. I bought Pal World, which was the talk of the town, in January. So I was a month late, which is something I do. I almost never buy the games that are like popular or like hype or like big at the time. Like a recent one was like Lethal Company. Didn't buy that. So like, first of all I was like, nah, my friend, I don't have enough friends to play that with. Or any friends. God, I thank God I have these sunglasses on. You can't see my pitifully sad emotions. But I did get Power World, and that's just because it's a combination of two things I love. I love Ark Survival Evolved, and I love Pokemon. So like, you know what? The game is cheap. By the way, gaming right now is so peak. Finally, we are in an age where it's like, oh, we don't have to spend like $60 on good multiplayer games. You want to know why Overwatch 1 was successful? Because it was like $15.99, which means first you have to pay for it, which means less cheaters. But also it was like cheap. It was enough. Like, that's all you need. $15.99 is all you need. Surely more people will buy a $15.99 game than you would get. Like, you'd probably make more profits from a $15.99 game with like microtransactions than you would with like a $60 game, no microtransactions. Because more people would buy it, and people would buy the microtransactions because we all love spending more money than we need to. Anyway, Power World, people say it's a Pokemon ripoff. Other people say it's not. What isn't a Pokemon ripoff these days? Like, you know those like animals you see in real life? Those are actually based off Pokemon. I know. Sheep, Mareep. Birds, all of the birds in Pokemon. That's pretty messed up, God. My opinion on Power World is all that matters. And I should say, it's good. It's fun. It's probably fun to play with friends, but I wouldn't know how that feels because I've been playing by myself. But I'm still having fun, you know? Some games you just play by yourself and you're like, wow, this is so sad. Minecraft. Power World, it's pretty good, you know? I feel like it doesn't support slave labor, which I think is quite a W. But it also does at the same time. See, this is going to be messed up to say, but slavery is good for the economy. Like, that is just a fact. Yeah, it's free labor, so you get things made for free. That's good for the economy, and that is simulated in Power World. But you know, bad. Slavery bad. Think of the people. Think of the emotions. And I agree that slavery is bad. So that's why I treat my pals with respect. I buy them all the bats they need. I feed them. Well, they feed them. I get them property to feed themselves. I give them the comfiest beds. So really, I'm a nice guy. 6 foot, by the way. Sorry. Panel designs, kind of forgettable. Maybe it's because like I can remember the chipmunk guy, the big yellow guy, like the rest is like, oh, just a big chicken, dog with fluff. Like, they're kind of boring. I think that's okay. You know, Power World is a young game. It still has time to craft out the legacy, as long as it doesn't die. I feel like the way it's being set up, it probably won't die for like 10 years. As long as they like fix the major bugs in the game and they give the game crossplay, it won't die, because it's a game with crossplay, which means it's a game that you can play with your friends on Xbox or PC. I feel like any game with crossplay will have seriously good longevity, because there is not enough crossplay games in the world right now. So any chance people have, they will take it. It feels like a modern Ark. It feels like Ark 2 before Ark 2 exists. And not like that new revamped Ark. It doesn't have the hyper-realistic style, which means it can probably be run on lower-end machines. Where it probably can't, because it's like an indie game. It's probably got that spaghetti code. But if you've played Ark, you'll like Power World. Unless you play Ark just for the first person, and you know who you are. If you see this, which you probably won't. I've played the game for like 20 hours, and I'm not that far in. I'm like level 20. So right now the progression is really slow. That is something I'm pretty sure you can change, because it's like Ark where you can just change all the settings and stuff. So really it's my fault, but I just can't be able to change it. It's on the normal one and it's slow. But I haven't really been doing like XP, exploits or whatever. I've just been playing the game and having fun. So yeah, fun game. Guess we'll see how it goes with how they update and stuff. And the last game I played a lot of this month was Overwatch 2. I haven't played Overwatch 2 in a long time. So obviously I played ranked with a friend. What could go wrong? What's the point of playing a game if you're not ranking up and getting absolutely blasted by your team and like everyone? Right, but it's fun because we can laugh, we can cry at the same time. Getting trash talked is fun there, okay? When you don't care. If you're like actually trying and you're getting trash talked, that's not fun. But if you're just like, you know, casual day out, you know, yay, game. And you know, after being trash talked a while, I did just main support, and even then, I wasn't safe, but I was safer. And support's fun, yeah. I'm good-ish on support. I'm important to my team. I do my part. As a support, then you're like more important than everyone else. So then you can trash talk the rest of your team, and people can't be like, they can't say anything because you're the support. And you can be like, I'm not healing you anymore. Because as support, you can throw the game, and you can't throw the game, but you can throw it like certain people. For example, if one of my damage trash talks me, I just won't heal him. I'll just heal the rest of the team, but not him. See, I can be toxic without like losing us the game. Because you know, if a damage gets trash talked, he's like, oh, the only thing he can do is just like throw. Like he loses like the entire game, which just isn't fun. I feel like Overwatch, you know, although it has Blizzard, who should be an elite team by now, but let's be honest, they're just not. There's the same problem as like every hero shooter that's out there right now. I haven't played all the hero shooters out there right now. Well, one, if you don't play for a while, you have absolutely no idea what's going on. Like, I don't know what any of the new characters do. And they've actually done quite good with that, by the way. Because if you want to play the new character now, you have to unlock them, unless you buy the battle pass, I'm pretty sure. So you have to do like certain challenges, you have to try them out in practice mode, so you actually get to know what they do. So you can't just like, be like, oh, new character, and then just pick them straight away. And you play like ass, because you don't know what they do. So it's done quite well. That's a good decision. Good job, Blizzard. It still doesn't help when you're playing against them and they drop like their like cage ultimate on you. Like, wait, what? That's in the game. That's like from League of Legends, isn't it? And you die, and then you like, because every character has like 3 abilities unique to them. You just don't know what they do. I mean, another one is like movement creep. I feel like a lot of the new characters they've added have like a movement ability. So all the characters who don't have movement ability feel like bad. That's also true in like Apex, where I feel like the characters who don't have movement abilities feel a lot worse than the characters that do. That's kind of it for February. I know, short month-ish. It was leap year this year. I feel like no one talked about that. They like give frog hats to babies, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, so happy late February, guys. Bye.